And as you start to build that plan and map it out, the next part, and this shift gears slightly, especially with a lot of what's happening now, once you've got that plan mapped out, you then need to go, okay, well, it's time to start implementing it. And that has to do with building the teams. Now, you've been talking about building teams for a long time. At the moment, it feels like it's the hot topic, outsourcing, especially with John Reese's launch, which is sort of coming out at the moment. But how do you teach and coach your guys to start building a team? I know you've taught a lot to me, and you mentioned it briefly earlier on about choosing A players, but perhaps you can talk a little bit more to that.
Yeah, okay. And even before I go there, which I'm going to go very quickly, some people say they can't afford to outsource or they can't afford that they need to do it all themselves. And to me, it's just the completely wrong way of looking at things. No matter where you are, no matter where you're starting with, even if you have to take on a part-time job to supplement your income so that you can pay someone to do certain things for you. Because there's too many things online that take only a few minutes to do, but could take many hours to learn how to do that thing in a few minutes. And it doesn't make sense to spend 3 or 4 hours learning how to do something that takes 3 minutes. You're better off working those 4 hours in a part-time job and paying someone in the Philippines or India or even in the United States. Really, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I've outsourced many times to the States who already knows how to do that because now it's a very quick, cheap job. So just as a way of shifting people's perspective about it, there's just too many things. I mean, I would never create. I mean, I think I created my very first web page after the first one I ever did. But when I was doing a lot of ebooks, I paid someone, I think about $45 to set up the whole website and load up the autoresponders and integrate it with ClickBank and all that. Even if I didn't have the $45, I would have been better off working at a Gap and getting, to pay that guy the $45 because it would have just, I could make more money working at the Gap, and paying that guy the $45 than for me to spend 3 days trying to figure it out. And so I just kind of I'll just throw that out there. And now let's just talk about teams. I came up with a distinction back, I think I put it in the Internet Business Manifesto. I'm pretty sure I did, that I think really changed the perspective of a lot of people when they were thinking about outsourcing. Because back then, everybody thought they were doing outsourcing, but all the instruction from all the gurus at the time, to me, wasn't outsourcing at all. It was out-tasking. It was about offloading a task to someone who could do it cheaper than you. And there's nothing wrong with out-tasking at all. It makes a lot of sense, quite often, but it doesn't build a business. Because anytime you start a relationship with someone, even if they're only doing one job, there's an element of risk. They could be a flake, they could disappoint you, they could do a bad job, etc. So part of just inherent in business is that you want to develop a team, whether they work for you full time or not, whether they're just a freelance person that you can call on from time to time. You want to build a team that acts as a team of experts really in different areas who will handle stuff for you. So one of the reasons why I was very successful very fast was that was how I approached it. So I wasn't looking to get the task done in the cheapest way. I was looking to get tasks done in a way that once I found the right person, that person could be my go-to person for that thing going forward. And I think that that's just a little bit of a mindset shift for people. But if you can get that mindset shift, that the goal is not to get the job done in the fastest, cheapest way. The goal is to find the provider that will consistently get that done for you in the best way. And best being, price is certainly a factor in best, but reliability is also, execution is also, ease to get in touch with and work with, and et cetera. And so, because most of us as entrepreneurs, we have more ideas than we could ever do. And that's probably a good thing that we can't do them all. But you want to have the ability to not have your own ability be the limiter on what your company can do, whether you're a one-person company or not. And the way that you do that is by building people that you can just pick up the phone or shoot over an email and get stuff done. And so there was a ghostwriter. And I'm not going to say who the other people were because I think I would make them a little angry. But there was a ghostwriter that had written for a few gurus, including myself. And she was on Elance. And she used to write for me and a few of these other people. I didn't know that she was writing for those people. And, they didn't know that she was writing for me. And she did a very excellent job on this ebook that I gave her. It was in the baby niche. And this is back when I was before Strategic Profits. And she did an amazing job. So amazing, in fact, that I said to her, and I was planning on doing lots of ebooks, I said to her, you know what? You don't even need to operate in Elance anymore. I'll keep you as busy as you want to be. And so she decided to work full time for me. I mean, she wasn't working for me. She was a freelancer, but that was my commitment to her that, you want to write 3 ebooks a month, then we'll give you 3 ebook jobs a month. If you want to, have 5, then we'll give you 5. And the beauty of that was, and that's why I don't want to say the other people that were involved, because I think they'd be upset that I'm telling this kind of story, but they were all kind of disappointed when this woman would no longer work for them. And I wasn't trying to I didn't even know she was working for them at that time, but that was just the inherent way of to me, that was the obvious solution that you always go in business, because once you have a good provider, why would you want, and that was key for me, if we're going to create ebooks, I need people who can write ebooks all the time. Why would I want to keep going back to Elance and taking a risk on every project when I already have it in the bank that she's going to do a great job? Now, the other thing that was really cool about that in this particular case was that, as most people, she was interested in making more money over time. And so what I did was actually I said, well, I could pay you a lot more if you could do some other things besides just the ebook. And she said, like what? And I said, well, you could write the email series for the ebook. First she started just writing the consumption series, after someone bought the ebook, how to get them to actually consume the product so that we could sell them another product and stuff like that. And then after she got the hang of that, I bought her John Carlton's copywriting course. And then she started writing the emails that sold the ebook. Right, and then after she got decent at that, she started writing the squeeze page and the sales letter for the ebook. And so it got to a point where she would be delivering us a package, and the package would have the product, the squeeze page, the sales letter, the emails that went to someone after they opted in but didn't buy, and the emails after someone bought. And then it went from her to my office, where my assistant just approved it, went through everything, made sure we're on the same page, and then went right to the person who built the website that I paid $45 or so to build the whole website. So my involvement was minimal. And ultimately, it was because in that particular case, in this example, I had 2 trusted, freelancers.